All right, 5 questions. We've got 2 guests this week, Bo and Brock Mantanona. Starting with a couple questions for you guys. Coming off of a Central Michigan duel, you guys both had big wins. Is that a good way to close out the dual season as you kind of like start preparing mentally for postseason?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was I think I wrestled well in that match, got a pin, had a couple nice matches before that, so definitely, a good confidence builder, and yeah, it's the postseason, so looking to carry that over.
As you kind of shift focus, I guess, what does that look like? How do you shift focus to the postseason? You got 2 weeks. I know we got some individuals. I guess you had some yesterday, got some coming up. So, does your mindset shift, or you just kind of maybe dial in a little bit more?
No, I don't think the mindset shifts at all, really. Obviously, it's a little bit of a bigger moment, but at the same time, I just got to compete the way I've been doing all season. The last couple weeks, I really feel like I'm starting to hit my stride. So, again, just keep dialing in on those little things in my wrestling right now, and just keep improving and just get excited to compete again.
Sean and I were talking about this little flow feature that came out. And you guys said Big Ten Network feature that came out. And you guys said some nice things about each other. What is the nicest thing that you could say about Brock? And what's the nicest thing that you could say about Bo?
Put us on the spot.
Stumpers.
Probably, just one of the other. He's a good friend too, a great friend to me. I've been my best friend forever. So
I was gonna say the same thing, that he's been my best friend since I could walk. Really, that it's been my best friend for life. So that's probably the most positive thing I could say, is that just a good human to be around every single day.
Has Bo given you any advice over the course of this season? He's been through it once. This is your first time going through a full season. Have you asked him for any advice? Has he given you any advice?
Well, he's just kind of given me some advice, like just throughout like the ups and downs. Maybe a good win or a tough loss. He's just kind of told me just to stay level throughout the year, because from November to March, that's a long season. You can't get too high on a couple wins, and you can't get too low on a couple losses. So his biggest thing was just telling me just to stay level and just take it one match at a time. And
you've done Big Tens once already. What did you learn from last year that you can kind of take in this year?
Just be ready for it to be tough. That's a tough tournament. You're gonna wrestle, a lot of really tough guys, and pretty fast back to back to back. So you just gotta be ready and ready to scrap multiple times in a row.
Okay, Sean, I know you have some questions.
I do have. I have a question for Bo and Brock. I think I'll start with Brock. And it's for me, it's sort of been interesting to watch throughout the year. But what has been the biggest challenge for you this season in terms of moving up 2 weight classes?
I mean, it's I'd say just the physicality of the guys. They're not quite as fast as the lightweights, because I've kind of grown throughout every single weight class in my life, from 106 up. But I think the biggest thing is just staying in the fight with those guys for so long, because there is a power difference for sure. A lot of the guys I wrestle in the first 10 seconds, I'm like, oh, I wasn't ready for this. So just sometimes before the match, just getting ready to expect something, just a different level of power and strength from these guys, and that's it. I'd say that's the biggest thing, really.
Eating's been no problem?
Over the summer, eating was a bit of a problem, trying to get my weight up. But now, I think I'm a good size now, and I know he kind of gets on me sometimes, but eating a little bit more, that's probably,
that's probably
the second hardest thing.
Yeah.
He stays on me about that.
I think sometimes people don't realize how much work it actually is to, build up into, another weight class. And you've done a great job this year, and I think you've continued to grow a little bit throughout the season.
Yeah, it was a lot of work in the weight room, and a lot of time spent eating.
Yeah. And Bo, I think my question for you would be, in our practice, from excluding me and excluding your brother, who is the training partner that challenges you and brings the absolute best out of you in practice?
I would say Coach Ringer and Will. I know when I wrestle those guys, it's like it's gonna be a war. Totally, my face is gonna be bleeding. I'm gonna have to dig deep to score on those guys. So anytime I go with them, I know it's gonna be a fight.
Yeah, very good.
All right. Anything else?
Go blue.
Go
blue.
blue. Yeah.
Go blue.